Now, during this month, the country's wholesale, retail and fuel sectors are expected to generate over 88 billion rand in additional value for the economy, driven by surging consumer interest in Black Friday sales. This according to fintech group Capital Connect. Business Day's Mudiwa Gavaza joins us with more detail. Thank you so much for your time, Mudiwa. The year has gone by so fast. It's already November and it's already Black Friday. Other trends that are expected to be seen on Black Friday, and actually, I think for the last few years, it's actually now been the whole month. Other trends that we are expecting to see this month, any different from the retail trends that we have seen during the rest of the year?
Well, the key thing, according to Capital Connect, is that we're going to see higher retail sales, across the board. And what the evidence is pointing at is that it's your groceries and your general goods that are driving up your Black Friday sales, and also, your adoption of, online retail.
Yeah.
We've seen it from a number of different points. So, for example, with Capital Connect, they say that Black Friday this year is going to have direct sales impact of about 22 billion rand. That's additional to where we were last year. But when it comes to overall impact in the economy, because you know that you have sort of a multiplier effect in an economy, they're saying that you're estimated at around 88 billion rand, driven through the economy over and above what we saw, in previous years. So really good, to see that type of thing. And to your point earlier on, Black Friday has sort of become like a festival of shopping.
Yes.
Especially in South Africa, it's not a day.
Yeah, even more than December, it seems, actually.
Funny enough, they actually say that the data is showing that the lines are blurring a little bit. And what you see through November with Black Friday sort of gives you an indication of what's going to happen in festive season. But your festive season is going to be much, much higher than what we see around Black Friday. Data coming in to say that through Black Friday in November, they're looking at a 19% increase in retail sales, whereas in December, they're looking at a 48% increase in retail sales. And that's compared to the first 10 months of 2024. So if we take the whole of the first 10 months of 2024, those last 2 months are going to drive a lot of sales for many retailers out there.
Mudiwa, also this demand that we're expecting on Black Friday, because I don't know, we've only just had 125 basis point cut from the South African Reserve Bank, and I'm wondering how much is it actually filtering through to actual money. And I'm wondering if this is maybe less of the fact that there's more financial relief, but maybe the fact that people are just feeling better.
Well, there's a couple of things to consider, and one of them is the fact that consumers are still under distress.
Yes.
And that points to why with Black Friday, because remember Black Friday, you're selling computers, phones, TVs, etc. But now we're saying, no, it's actually not those things, right? It's your groceries, it's your everyday things that are going to be driving up your sales, because that's where the South African consumer is. They're looking for deals on everyday things that they buy, right? I've actually seen a number of memes, on TikTok and Instagram where people are saying, hey, I've already got the big TV. Dear Black Friday, I've already got a big TV this year. Please, let's make deals on groceries. And you're sort of seeing that playing out through the data. Interestingly, when it comes to the online piece, we spoke about a month and a half ago to Amazon, which recently started operating in South Africa officially. And they were saying the same thing, that on their platform, they call them everyday essentials, right, that are driving. That's where they've been seeing a lot of the growth. And to quote the head, of Amazon in South Africa, he actually said, that they are seeing what they call the everyday goods. They call them toothpaste, firelighters, washing powder, dishwashing tablets. These are the things on Amazon that they are seeing as driving up the sales. So the consumer is under strain, and we're seeing that there is a pickup in the economy. Let's also not forget that there are other elements apart from the interest rate, decrease, which might spur some activity. We've also seen two-part, a lot of people
Yeah.
you know, withdrawing,
That's
and
also, yeah.
we've started seeing those billions coming into, you know, into the economy. So all of that stuff is now feeding into that.
Mudiwa, this is a very interesting shift because, you know, back in the day, I think before COVID, when you mentioned Black Friday, people would be going for appliances,
Yeah.
furniture. And we know that that part of the retail market has actually been under pressure. I mean, from just even the results that we have been receiving from Italtile, Cash Build. And I'm just wondering if that's just going to continue being under pressure, or maybe even if there's a boost, it just won't be that much. It's going to be maybe just a little bit underwhelming.
I don't know how it's going to happen for more of your, let's call them luxury goods.
Yeah.
But at least for now, the data is telling us that on the essentials and groceries side, Statista actually estimates that, you know, your groceries and Yes Sir, which is a platform that does ride-hailing food as well as groceries. I have to read it exactly because they say market value for groceries online. This is just the online piece. They expect it to reach 80 billion by 2026, and then potentially up to 130 billion by 2029. That's huge numbers compared to where we are today, because right now the data says all of online retail is expected to be at around 70 billion. So if we're expecting a doubling, but so a doubling of current online sales, but just the groceries, you know, being the thing that's driving that. So I think the SA consumer continues to be under pressure, and we're going to see that, you know, continuing. For retailers, I guess it's a good thing because you keep making money either way. What becomes interesting is if you are, let's say, an appliance manufacturer, or you are making goods that are outside of, you know, your groceries. Yeah.
Mudiwa, I want to buy furniture. And I am hoping that because more people are flocking to groceries, that there isn't going to be a lot of demand. And so they are forced to implement those discounts. I'm hoping. I'm interested because in the intro, I also mentioned the fuel sector getting a boost. Are people just going to be stocking up on petrol?
No, it's not necessarily about petrol itself.
Okay.
It's simply to say that if you've got, because we're talking about groceries, right? Remember, there's a lot of perishables, small items, etc. So they're saying that your fuel sector gets a boost because you've got more deliveries going to, you know, shopping centers, shops, retailers, that type of thing.
Okay.
That's one. Two, what is the other place where people get a lot of their groceries? It's petrol forecourts.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
A lot of people are going to Engine and to BP and to, you know, Astron garages now, right? And they all carry either Fresh Stop or Woolies or Pick and Pay or something, right?
Yeah.
So now you combine that behavior.
So it's also like that multiplier effect that you were talking about as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, we do have to wrap up the conversation there. Thank you so much for a very insightful conversation, Mudiwa. That was Business Days Mudiwa Gavaza.